Did Jungkook just announce his marriage in front of thousands at Calvin Klein's event? Fans are left trembling, confused, and emotional what really happened on that stage. Comment your reaction, like, and subscribe to join the heated debate. What if the world's most beloved idol suddenly stood behind a microphone at one of fashion's most iconic events and dropped the very news his fans have dreaded and dreamed about at the same time? What if Jungkook, the golden Maknae of BTS, decided to shock millions not through a new song or performance, but with one sentence that could split the fandom into chaos? I'm getting married. Was this real, a hidden code, or a staged announcement that Calvin Klein never intended to become the headline of the night? The air at New York Fashion Week froze when Jungkook stepped onto the stage under the giant Calvin Klein logo, dressed in a navy trench coat that amplified his sharp yet conflicted aura. His hair framed his face with deliberate disarray, his lips pressed together as though he carried a burden too heavy to contain. Cameras clicked in rapid succession. Fans screamed his name, but one single gesture, placing both hands on the podium and taking a sharp breath, turned the glamorous runway into what felt like a global press conference. Behind him, a protest sign rose above the crowd. "We do not agree if Jungkook married." The letters screamed louder than the voices in the audience. Who planted that sign? Was it a fan desperate to keep the dream alive, or a calculated move to provoke reaction? Every second felt like a cliff edge, with Jungkook standing in the middle of a storm that no one expected. Was this announcement real, or was Jungkook giving away a secret message hidden inside his partnership with Calvin Klein? Why now, in this exact moment when the fashion world was celebrating his global influence, did he choose to ignite the emotional core of ARMY? The whispers in the front row turned into audible gasps. Phones went up, live streams exploded, and within seconds, hashtags like Jungkook married, Calvin Klein NYFW, and Jungkook shocks ARMY started trending worldwide. If you're reading this, you already feel the tension in your chest. Do you believe Jungkook owes fans the truth about his personal life, or should he protect it at all costs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Should idols belong fully to their fans, or do they deserve to break free and live their lives regardless of the heartbreak it causes? Like this post if you felt your heart stop for a moment when you imagined him saying those words, and subscribe because this story is only getting bigger, darker, and more complicated with every passing second. The applause that should have filled the Calvin Klein Hall after Jungkook's appearance instead dissolved into fragmented chaos. Whispers turned into accusations. Was this announcement staged by the brand to exploit ARMY's emotions for global attention? Or was Jungkook finally breaking under the unbearable weight of expectation, choosing the fashion runway as his battleground to claim personal freedom? Some fans in the front rows were seen crying, not out of joy, but out of betrayal. "We supported you for 10 years, and this is how you repay us," one voice shouted, echoing through the tense silence. Others defended him with equal intensity. "He's a human being, not your property." The Calvin Klein event, meant to spotlight luxury design, suddenly transformed into a cultural war zone where love and loyalty collided with obsession and ownership. What's more controversial is the timing. Just weeks before, rumors circulated that Jungkook was under pressure from HYBE executives to maintain a single and untouchable image. Fans had speculated that sponsors feared losing billions if Jungkook were to marry publicly. Yet here he was, standing beneath Calvin Klein's iconic logo, almost daring the industry to cancel him. Was this bravery or sabotage? The sign held up by a protester, "We do not agree if Jungkook married," ignited furious debate online. Who allowed such a sign inside a high-profile show? Was it a rogue fan, a planted PR stunt, or even a hidden warning from within the industry itself? Conspiracies flared instantly that Jungkook's announcement was actually a negotiation tactic against HYBE, a coded rebellion wrapped in the glamour of a Fashion Week stage. Controversy exploded further when fans pointed out Calvin Klein's social media team instantly clipped and posted the speech teaser before Jungkook even left the stage. Did they know this was coming? Was this entire scandal pre-planned marketing? Critics argued, while others accused the brand of exploiting Jungkook's vulnerability for profit. The fashion world gasped, but the fandom roared. Overnight, some fans threatened boycotts, while others swore undying loyalty. Army split in two between those who demanded Jungkook remain forever theirs and those who begged the world to let him live as a free man. And yet, the most haunting question remains: was Jungkook's announcement even real? Or was it a masterful game of smoke and mirrors, a performance that blurred the line between brand promotion, personal confession, and cultural rebellion? The moment Jungkook's voice echoed through the hall, the room didn't just freeze, it fractured. People began to ask the question no one dared before. Was HYBE complicit in this, or blindsided? Some insiders claimed executives were seen arguing backstage minutes before Jungkook walked out. Others insisted Calvin Klein had been warned, but chose to embrace the scandal because controversy sells better than couture. But here's where it gets darker. Certain media outlets leaked whispers that Jungkook's marriage announcement wasn't voluntary at all. That he had been cornered into it by forces more powerful than HYBE sponsors, political connections, even government figures worried about the immense sway BTS holds over millions of young voters worldwide. Was Jungkook making a confession, or was he being used as a pawn? Adding fuel to the flames, a Calvin Klein insider anonymously posted that the podium Jungkook stood behind wasn't originally meant for him. It had been prepared for the creative director's speech. Jungkook supposedly seized the moment, ignoring the teleprompter, ignoring the script. If true, this wasn't just rebellion, it was mutiny. Fans then began dissecting the choice of words on the protest sign in the crowd. "We do not agree if Jungkook married." Some suspected it wasn't random at all, but staged by HYBE loyalists planted to show him the consequences of disobedience. Others believed it was ARMY themselves, proof of a disturbing cult-like possessiveness where love turns into control. The optics were devastating, an idol standing alone against not just the industry, but against the very fans who built him. Within hours, sponsors panicked. Reports emerged that major brand partners threatened to pull out of deals worth millions. Financial analysts warned that if Jungkook truly married, HYBE's stock could plummet overnight. Yet, paradoxically, Calvin Klein's name surged to the top of every trending chart worldwide. Did they just risk Jungkook's career to buy themselves a scandal-driven spotlight? The most controversial speculation, however, came from Korean outlets suggesting Jungkook wasn't just announcing marriage, he was signaling defiance. A coded message that he no longer wanted to live, chained to an image built for profit. If true, this wasn't about love. It was war. And then came the question fans couldn't ignore. Who was the bride? Why no name, no hint, no face? Was Jungkook protecting someone, or was this entire announcement a weapon, a way to challenge everyone who thought they owned him? The silence around her identity became louder than the announcement itself, dragging millions into speculation and conspiracy. Was it an idol, a model, a civilian, or was there no bride at all? The fallout didn't stop at fashion headlines. It spread like wildfire across industries, governments, and entire nations. In Seoul, lawmakers were reportedly briefed about the Jungkook marriage crisis as if it were a matter of national security. That may sound absurd, but when one man's announcement threatens billions in entertainment revenue, tourism, and even cultural diplomacy, the stakes become political. Was Jungkook unknowingly shaking the pillars of Korea's soft power strategy, or was he deliberately sending a warning? Meanwhile, HYBE's stock price flickered violently in after-hours trading. Investors panicked, some calling it the most dangerous scandal in K-pop history. One insider whispered that executives accused Jungkook of orchestrating his announcement as revenge for years of control, staged narratives, and forced secrecy. The idea that the golden maknae could turn into HYBE's most unpredictable, rebel-ignited fear at every level. But the most chilling rumor came from the fashion industry itself. A Paris-based journalist suggested Calvin Klein executives had prepared the stage for this exact moment, knowing full well Jungkook's personal life was a powder keg. They wanted to weaponize the scandal, turning their runway into the most talked-about event of the decade. If true, Jungkook wasn't just an ambassador, he was bait. Fans weren't silent either. Outside HYBE's building in Seoul, groups of army gathered with conflicting signs, some defending his right to marry, others demanding he apologize for betraying them. The haunting chants echoed across social media. Is Jungkook ours, or is he his own? A heartbreaking reminder that devotion can blur into possession. Internationally, the narrative grew darker. American tabloids speculated that Jungkook's mystery bride could be connected to the fashion or entertainment elite names were dropped recklessly from Hollywood actresses to political heirs. One particularly controversial claim suggested that Jungkook's bride wasn't a secret at all, but someone the public already knew, another K-pop idol, a forbidden romance hidden for years under contracts and lies. Was this Calvin Klein stage the moment he finally ripped off the mask? Even more explosive were claims from anti-fans that there was no marriage at all, that Jungkook's announcement was a carefully coded act of rebellion, a metaphor for leaving behind the image ARMY clung to. Marriage as a symbol of independence, not romance. If true, Jungkook wasn't breaking hearts, he was declaring war on the system that owned him. The controversy grew unbearable when whispers emerged that Jungkook's speech might never be aired in full. Korean broadcasters allegedly received requests to cut or edit the footage before rebroadcast. Why censor a fashion show unless the message threatened more than fan emotions? Was Jungkook silenced, or was the world being shielded from his truth? And so, the most dangerous question lingers like a blade over the fandom. Was this the beginning of Jungkook's freedom or the start of his downfall?